Hey everyone, so I'm doing a little bit of a different format here for this a closer look video. I've had some kind people offer some videos of Mr. Billy Bob in action here, so I will be putting that together. So this is a little bit different for me. This is the first hero that I've done a closer look video on, where I didn't actually have the hero in my roster. So thank them for the footage of Billy Bobbers in action. So he is the last zombie. He is the 5-star zombie. And he is built as a tank. Definitely built as a tank. Check that out. Now, he is slow speed, but the caster and nearby allies get the counterattack for 3 turns. And they get 140 defense and 140 attack for 3 turns. So he's pretty effective, even with the slow speed. And he's Sentry class. So as we know, Sentry class is armor up after receiving damage. So check that out. He's already built as a tank with good stats. Look at that health on him, 1400 health. And then the Sentry class emblems, you get to add to that because you could go down the defensive and health path as much as you can. And if you get to node 15, if you're using him as tank, I suppose he's worthy of the emblems, really, because he could be a tank for a very, very long time. So you could get to node 15 and that'll be a 25% chance to do armor up after receiving damage. That's pretty awesome. That's high. And on the Sentry class, the speed or critical chance is at node 19. So that one's really up to you. If you use them on offensive a lot, you maybe want to go critical chance, but in all honesty, I'd probably go speed. We're going to do the addition and the math on the speed weapons as we're watching the footage that all the gentlemen out there in Puzzle Combat Land were kind enough to loan me. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Alright, before we go on to that part though, let's go over his actual hero rating. So he is rated as an A, and I agree with that. He is a good one. So the charge speed is a little bit of a downfall, but by no means does that rule him out because, like I say, he's built as a tank, and he can pull that off pretty well. All right, so offensively he's rated a 4. Defensively he's rated a 5 out of 5. No surprise there. And on the War Machine he's a 4. Well, that's pretty good for the War Machine. I mean, you can set him off easily with energy drinks, of course, on the War Machine. And he's quite effective with that attack up and then the defense. And as you fight higher War Machines, like purple War Machines, like he's gonna be awesome at that, I think. Because, of course, you get the defense for 3 turns, and the higher War Machines hit pretty damn hard. So I would think that would be quite effective to set them off with energy drinks, and then you got the counterattack up for the entire battle as well. So, I don't know, personally, I would really like a copy of him, but he's so rare to get since you can only get him with the zombie badges, and there's a very, very small percentage to actually land him as the only legendary, since there is only 5 zombies we can get. And the zombie badges only come out once a month in the Zombie Horde Special Ops. So, yeah, he's hard to get. You don't see him too much. But I know a couple of my teammates, actually. One in Farmed and Dangerous, I do believe, uses him as tank, and so does one of my teammates in Happy Hunting. So yeah, you don't see him a heck of a lot, being that it's so rare that people can actually land him as a hero, but I think he's decent, because he covers very well what he was built for, and that was to be a tank, so. Alright guys, we're going to move on to the footage part, and I'll run through the weapons as we're watching the raids and the war hit that I was given. So I will see you in a few. Hey everyone, so here's the first video of a raid on Cap's team, and we get to see Billy Bobbers in action here. So let's run through your weapons options. So first up, the Pinnacle is the 3-star master weapon. And oh my god, that animation cracks me up. Where he's throwing corn, man. That just that just kills me. I love watching that. So as you can see, the counterattack is pretty effective because that nearly finished off Welshing there. So that's damn good. Alright, the Pinnacle is health gain per turn. So definitely not a bad one to put on a defensive hero at all. I do like the Pinnacle, actually. It is very effective. I take that with me on events quite often when I have a yellow hero. Especially on Catalina, where she can seem to die easier, a lot easier than Jonah and stuff, it seems. Alright, the Mammoth is the 4-star master weapon, and that does burn. Burn, baby, burn! Alright, so the video is going to end here in a second, and then I'm going to hook up with the other ones, and we'll continue running through the weapons. Okay, so here's the second raid on Cap's team. Now the Mammoth that does the burn damage also has fairly high defenses at 188 for a 4-star weapon, so there you go. The burn's not so effective, but the defense absolutely is for a defensive hero. And then you got the 5 stars. They are the Bronco Peacekeeper that has 40 health points per turn, so pretty good. And it has high attack for some reason on a defensive weapon, so that's kind of funny. And then the other one is the Martha, which is a chance to hit through blind or dodge. So woohoo! So not bad. And then you've got 28% critical chance on the Martha. So if you're taking him in on a war machine hit or on a war hit, as we'll see in a minute here, Martha's not too bad for sure. Then you've got the regular weapons, the Roadblock. That is 25% resistance. Well, I'm not a big fan of the Roadblock by any means, but that sure as hell does come in handy on defense to put that higher resistance on a defensive hero and buff up your tank a little bit. Pretty cool. Alright, so the next one after the Roadblock would be the Talon, and that is a favorite one of mine. Absolutely. 20% critical chance if you're using them on offense. And then you got 67 health points to add to his already high health. Dude has high health anyway for a dead guy. And yeah, I would take the chance to add more health to him if I had him on defense for sure. That'd be awesome. I gotta come up with new catchphrases rather than just for sure. Okay, so the Saw. It's another 5-star yellow weapon, 10% critical chance, 40% armor damage. Bleh, that's pretty meh for him, I would say personally, so. I'm not a big fan of the Saw. Any Saws that I've got, I've sacrificed actually for a promotion of the other weapons that I have. I think I'd probably rather keep the Roadblock, to be honest, than the Saw. Alright, so there's the second raid, and now we're going to do a war hit after this. Okay, Cap was kind enough to grab a war hit for me, and he's got a 3-2 team here, and he's got Billy Bobbers in the middle, and he's got the speed weapon on him. Okay, so let's talk about that Talon. Now he has 34 charge, so he's pretty low in the charge department. And believe it or not, he's right near the break point though, so that will drop a tile down. So he'll go from 13 to 12 impacted tiles to charge and 7 to 6 ghosted tiles to charge. So how about that? Speed weapons help this bad boy out. That's awesome. Okay, so your other options if you do not have the Triss Vector is the Scrum at 13% critical chance. So if you're taking them in on a hit like this and you don't have a speed weapon, then critical chance weapon will do just fine. And then you got the Liquefier, which is 12% dodge, so great for defense. Absolutely great for defense. And then you've got the Berserk, 3-star weapon, which has 7% resistance on it. Not a bad option. If you're just starting out and don't have other weapons yet, you can certainly put the Berserk on him to help him resist status ailments. And, alright, the other one is the SWAT, 3-speed. So you know what? He's close enough to the breakpoint that the SWAT does help him out. It drops a tile as well. So that's fantastic, because the 3-speed on the SWAT doesn't help a lot of heroes. It will help him since he's so close to that breakpoint. Right on. Okay, and then if you happen to have got the Ragnarok Vantage that I have as weapon of the month, the only weapon of the month I have, happens to be a speed and a dodge weapon, so either way, that's going to be fantastic, whether you use it on offense or defense, if you happen to have that in your armory. So, Ragnarok Vantage is a 6-speed weapon, I believe. I'm not sure. I'd have to check my roster. I don't have all that memorized yet. But it will help him, being that he's so close to the breakpoint. So, there you go, guys. There's a rundown of what Billy Bobbers does on both offense and defense. And thanks to Cap for that video, and Jim's son, a couple of my teammates, and Lopez for the raid video on Cap as well. So that was pretty awesome. I'm glad those guys were willing to give me the footage of that. So we'll see how this is and how I can put this together. I'm learning as I go here, but hopefully this all makes sense for you guys. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section and I will get back to you. And take care of yourselves. Pretty crazy days out there sometimes.